Alright guys, welcome back. 4K a day series. Here it is, guys. I want you guys to stay all the way to the end of this video from me because you're only going to learn if you do so. This video is for the people that do decide to watch all the way to the end here. We're going to continue the series, 4,000 a day. Basically, I got asked by the audience, some members in the audience, to just make a whole series about this after my first initial video explaining everything. Kind of got some good traction. Within the audience, so a lot of people wanted to see a whole series on this. Nevertheless, guys, we're gonna dive into it. I'm gonna be dropping some gems, so like I said, watch it all the way to the end. We do have the secret video, or the secret question that is going to be at some point in this video. Check the description for any info on that, to make sure you guys doing everything that it requires to actually win the giveaway at the end of the month. So with that being said, guys, we're going to continue on about influencers. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the bigger influencers, and maybe if you guys have been doing influencer marketing and haven't been getting much traction, I'm going to hopefully resolve a lot of issues. So like I said, stick around to the end here. So number one, talking about bigger influencers versus smaller influencers. Obviously, they're going to cost more. Bigger influencers are just simply going to cost more. That's a given. Typically is what's going to happen. They're going to cost more. However, you can get a far more, a way greater return on each post that you do with the bigger influencer. As a beginner, you might not have the budget to do so. A good ballpark, guys, what I typically like to aim, I've had my most success around just below the threshold of 1 million followers on Instagram, around there. And then a good deal based upon that engagement. Of course, it depends on each influencer, of course, but a good deal around that mark would be typically $1,250, like $1,000 to $2,000. $1,250 around there is probably going to be close to your minimum per post on Instagram, an Instagram story post. My next video will be regarding why I do only story posts, so stay tuned for that as well in the series. But like I said, the bigger influencers are going to be more bang for your buck. They really are. As a beginner, you may not have the budget, and I totally understand that, but I've had the most success with influencers, like I said, just below 1 million, so 800K to 1 million, around there, 1.2 million, around there, that ballpark right there, and spending around $2,000, $1,500 in that ballpark as well. You're probably going to see the most success as far as bigger influencers in that ballpark, to be honest, because the bigger influencers, they do have like 5 million is just going to be, they're going to be charging too much. Anything above 2 million, typically they're gonna be charging too much. Right around that threshold, like I said, 800K to 1.2 million. Those are the influencers that are very big, and they're most likely the top dogs in their industry. However, they're not gonna charge an arm and a leg for a post. And what we're doing, that's typically what you guys want to see, is around $2,000 per post. Now, as far as actually contacting these big influencers, most of them around that range are going to have managers. So what you simply do, that is a good thing overall, because managers typically reply better, quicker than just the influencer, replying to all their emails. Typically, influencers are not going to do that. However, with the bigger influencers, they most likely will have managers. That's a great sign, guys. Get in their emails, figure out their manager's emails. Most likely, more often than not, they're just going to be the email tab is going to go directly to their manager. That's simple, guys, but you need to stay on them. A lot of people say, oh, I tried to reach out to these influencers, I didn't get a response. And I say this all the time. How many times did you reach out to them? And a lot of the time they just say once. That's simply not going to cut it, guys. One time, these influencers get a lot of requests, so you need to stay on them. What they're looking for in the mind of an influencer, they're just looking for, or a manager of an influencer, they're just looking for people that are going to stay on them and that are coming in a professional manner. My bad, guys. I'm mixing up words. Got distracted here with people around me. Anyways, we're gonna keep it rolling, guys. Some more gems that I have to drop on this series would be to stay consistent with the bigger managers or in the bigger influencers. You definitely can do that. You definitely can do posts with them 100%. The other thing would be to, with the bigger influencers, like I said, you're gonna have more profit. Typically, it's just gonna cost more to work with them initially, right? So that's pretty much what I would have to say about the bigger influencers. A lot of you guys are reaching out to these influencers, not getting a response back. That's gonna be all right, guys. if you continue to hit them up. You're gonna get a better response from people when you guys continually hit them up. And I'm talking about almost every day for at least the first week or two. Then if you're still not getting a response, tone it back 2-3 times a week. You're gonna get a better response there. Now, a lot of this info, guys, if maybe you've heard it before on my channel, I'm giving a recap basically on what I look for. And this whole series, it's too much to just put into one video because I have so many thoughts on influencer marketing. I think that influencer marketing is vastly underrated by a lot of marketers. We're not using them, especially drop shippers. We're not using them enough. For the people that do, including myself, we found that it's a gold mine. It really is. These influencers that have a great connection with their audience, that's what you're looking for. And I've mentioned this in the past videos, but that has to be there. That's why a lot of people, I say this all the time, people ask me, do meme pages work? Do theme pages work? And like I said, I think I said this in that last video, I'm not gonna say that they don't work. However, like I said in the last video, they're lacking that personal touch between audience and influencers. So the audience and the personalized influencers, everybody in that audience looks to that person. I even use this analogy. Carly, this influencer named Carly, for example, has built up her audience to 500K, okay? That's taken 3-4 years to do so. I guarantee she has a great connection with her audience. Everybody in that audience looks to Carly, and whatever product that is she's promoting or whatever products she uses, everybody in the audience wants to use that product. They want to live like her. And that's just one example. That's the whole premise behind influencer marketing, on why it works so much with the personalized influencers, because you're essentially, those influencers are selling a lifestyle. To an extent, of course, but basically everybody in the audience sees their posts, see that they're living good for the most part. No matter how true or not that is, that's the nature of it, right? Everybody in the audience looks to the influencer and thinks, oh, I need to do what they're doing. I need to work out like they're doing, have a body like them. I need to eat like they're eating, doing what they're doing in life. So that way I can have that same sort of success. That's what people are thinking about. And even if they're not conscious about it, that's the whole nature of this whole game with influencers. So just to touch up on that, guys, I wanted to mention a little bit about the bigger influencers and why I typically stay with personalized influencers. Even something like this, a video for somebody that is, no matter what level you're at, it's good reminding. It's a good reminder if you've heard of this stuff before. However, if you're a beginner, I encourage you to watch the whole series on this. Watch all my videos. I drop a lot of gems on, just because I've done it with influencers, especially more so than a lot of other people have. And that's a big focal point of mine, is using influencers. So that's why I decided to make a whole series on this in, one take form, talking like this, just because in that way I can get out all of my thoughts, a big, transfer of energy and a stream of consciousness really on about all of this stuff. So the question of the day, guys, is going to be, what is your favorite season of the year? Mine is summer for sure. So refresher on that, guys, you're going to want to answer that question on the next upload here. So on the next upload I upload to the channel, that's going to be the question that you answer. In today's video, the question that you're going to be answering is the previous video's question. So put all your answers on today's video. If you need more instruction, check out the link in the bio, or the link in the description there, guys. Today I was a little off, I will admit, with as far as talking goes and everything. Got a lot of people at the park kind of distracting me, getting in my area. I like to get a free mind when I'm talking about this stuff to you guys. So let me know what you guys want to see on the channel. I think I will be dropping some more PowerPoints. Those seem to be doing better typically, but I wanted to continue the frequency of uploads that I'm hitting here on this channel. And doing the one takes is essentially how I'm going to do that, as well as the PowerPoints from this point on. I do have the main channel dropping. A real quick plug for those of you that are still watching, I appreciate you. So stay tuned for that main channel that will be dropping very shortly. That one's gonna be all polished, all edited. Everything that I do is gonna be completely precise, polished, fully edited on that new main channel. I will only be probably uploading once every 1 or 2 weeks on that channel. So I'm excited about that, guys. Stay tuned for that. This Ecom Secret channel is going to be more uploads, not as polished stuff like this. So I'm basically going to be having 2 channels here, hitting the frequency of uploads on this one and the more polished stuff on the new one. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll see you in the next one.